Nice. There we are. All right, play the music. I think that's quickly becoming one of my favorite parts about this podcast, Luke. Asking producer Alec to play the music off the top of the show.
Shout out producer Alec. Guy's an absolute goat, man. What a Canadian beauty. Oh, wow, my voice just cracked. What a Canadian beauty. Although,
he's grinding.
Did play for the Guelph Griffins, so one shot against him there. He's going to be mad at that.
Yeah, he is. He's going to, his high school football team.
Not going to like that.
Isn't going to like hearing
really
that.
Bad shit. Yeah.
Actually, and you know what? Producers aren't the people that you want to get on the wrong side of. Like, I pissed off producer Alec earlier in the week, and he keeps fucking with my camera because of it. Like, you can see it keeps the focus comes in and out. Whatever you're doing back there, Alec, to mess with my camera, please stop. But welcome into All Time with Luke Willson. I am Luke Bellis. Mr. Willson, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm out here in Los Angeles. I mean, a little upset about Hail Mary Monday, but I'm feeling good now, man. I think that we're seeing clearly we're close. You know, my head goes, Luke, to I just love the stone cutting thing. You know, I talk about crack and FanDuel Canada. When you see a stone cut, it's not the final blow that did it. It's the thousands of hacks of the stone before that cracked that led to that point. We're there, bro. We're coming. The crack will come. We just need to keep hammering away. We need to keep stone cutting, man. That's just a fact.
And Lord knows we're gonna keep hammering away. Like, we're not, you know that meme of like the guy and he's digging for the diamonds and he's turned around and he's right there.
Yes.
He's right there. I'll tell you what, we're never gonna turn around. I will take that thing all the way to the diamonds. And I think 1,000%. One of the ways we're gonna start getting there is we're gonna start incorporating some different types of some bets. You and I are taking care of the SGPs. We see them on the apps all the time. We're gonna have Al's brother from TSN 1050. Shout out Al's brother. Join us on the show in a little bit to do some teaser talk ahead of this week in the NFL. But before we get to that, let's just do a little bit of some current news since we last talked. There's been some updates. Von Miller, a weird situation there. He's done for the year, right?
He's done for the year, and it's a dagger, Luke. But it's not the end of the world, you know. And it's weird as there's. I was on Jay on, right? Speaking of TSN, I was on Jay earlier today. And I was saying, I'm like, dude, there's all these Muppets online, these media Muppets that are saying that, oh, there goes their Super Bowl chances. What? And dude, everybody knows that I don't like the Bills, and I'm tough on them. I've been tough on them all year. And I think they play very sloppy football at times. But the idea that they can't win the Super Bowl now is fucking absurd. Yeah, does having Von Miller help you out? Yes, a lot. But again, in this league, Luke, and we're going to go back to this idea a lot. Hear me out on this, okay? Winning football games to me is a bit of a sliding scale. Okay, so if I were to ask you, like, Bill Belichick style, what do you think he preaches? If Bill comes into a game, Luke, you've watched a lot of football. What do you think Bill's style of how to win a game is?
Discipline and defense.
I'll take that. Discipline, I love. To me, he's at one end of the spectrum where it's like we don't necessarily care. They want, but the emphasis on individual players isn't huge. They have their philosophy. They know their philosophy works if executed correctly. They're going to be very, very disciplined, and they're not going to beat themselves. So they're going to let other teams make mistakes. They're going to play fundamentally crisp football. Now, they're not doing that every game this year, but that's that side of things. On the other side, I would say the spectrum goes to Pete Carroll. I'd say he's on the complete other side of the spectrum. And I don't mean that Pete doesn't want to play fundamental football because that's absurd. But Pete, when we would go out there, he was like, let's get the best players. Let's create a bond amongst them. Let's have them all bought in. And then we're going to go out there and just do what we do. And we're just physically better than everybody we play against. We don't necessarily need to focus crazy amounts on scheme to win. If we're great at our own scheme, no one will beat us. Do you see what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
We're like, Bill's going to try and chess match this thing up and win. Pete's going to come out here and put his dick on the table. Let's measure up.
And he won a lot of dick measuring contests.
Has he ever? And he's still doing it. And he's still doing it. So the reason I say that about Buffalo is I'm like, okay, we talk about this margin of error to win games. So when you have a ton of talent on a team, your margin of error gets bigger because you have guys like Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen that can make big plays, magical plays. When you don't have a ton of talent, you can still win every single game in the NFL. But your margin of error is extremely slim. Extremely slim. You can never you can't lose the turnover ratio. You can't do this. You don't have the explosive plays. You can't have a run game get shut down. All of those things to me plays into margin of error. So you look at Buffalo, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, damn, stinks. It's a blow for them. Still got Josh Allen. Still got Stephon Diggs.
What?
Still have kind of a three-headed running back situation that's developing. Hines, Cook, and Singletary. And Josh Allen is a very good runner. I mean, Gabe Davis.
Dog.
Good, very good number 2 guy. I would even throw Dawson Knox in there. I mean, I don't think he has good next year, but part of it is because there's only so many ops. Isaiah McKenzie. And that's offensively. Now you say Von Miller's on defense. Bro, their defense is still very, very stout. Like, what are we talking about? They can't win the Super Bowl now. They got to play good. Can't win the Super Bowl is nuts.
Yeah, Von Miller, at this point of his career, it seems like Von Miller is like a very nice luxury for a team to have. We saw it with the Rams last year, right? The second they added Miller to that defense, it just took them to a totally different level. They still were capable of playing at the high levels that we saw prior to adding Von Miller. But all of a sudden, you add Von Miller to the other side of Aaron Donald, and it's like, how do we stop this, right? So in Buffalo, he was a guy that helped take them to the S tier level, if you want to, go by the S tier rankings, but there's still an A level top tier Super Bowl contender caliber team without him. Like you said, it's a devastating blow. I love Von Miller. It's very well documented. Yes. I'm a Peyton Manning guy. Von Miller won Peyton Manning Super Bowl. He'll never do anything wrong in my books. But I think you make a great point about Buffalo, and like they still got a heck of a roster and playoff experience. I don't think it's all doom and gloom.
Agreed. Playoff experience, good players, explosive players, a defense that the defense doesn't have to be the 85 Bears. I mean, you keep teams under 20 or around 20 points, theoretically, you're winning that game. I don't know who's stopping Buffalo, keeping Buffalo under 20 points in the playoffs.
No. Yeah, I don't know how many teams are I don't know how many teams are keeping any team in the AFC under 20 points in the play. The playoffs this year are going to be an absolute gong show. Just on both,
especially the NFC is going to be the worst. How are you going to call those games?
Hey, we're going to try.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think the Dallas Cowboys are really good? Simple question.
Yes. I think the Dallas Cowboys have a really good defense.
Okay. So we all watched Dallas dismantle the Colts. I have been really praising what is going on, bro. I don't know what's going on right now. Okay.
my green screen just pieced out. I think we're just gonna have to.
I love that.
Let this ride. I like it.
Okay. Oh, get it.
We're going rogue.
Okay. The bookshelf is gone. Dallas to me is a team that I look at and I'm like, okay, this team should compete for a Super Bowl. They have all of the makings of a Super Bowl competing team. I thought that they were going to come in to the Colts game last week and beat them by 56, but not because of the last 8 minutes of the game. It was 21-19 in the fourth quarter, I think. And I'm like, bro, this is scary because the Colts, I know you're a Colts guy, but the Colts stink.
What doesn't stink is the Colts defense. The Colts defense
That's
does.
True.
So I think The Colts right now, to me, just scream like the kind of team that will just hang around games, and their offense is just going to be too bad to win games. It's like the Broncos. The Broncos defense keeps them in every game. It's super competitive. And then if that offense like screws up at all, the game's just over. And we saw that with Indy and the Cowboys. We have texts from Monday night like, holy boats. The Cowboys, forget covering, the Cowboys might not win the game. And then 33-0, they outscore the Colts in the fourth. So it's a scary defense. I think they can really impact game. Like we've seen it, right? They can turn the ball over. They can get to the quarterback. And in a NFC conference with some question marks at quarterback positions come playoff time, right? Like right now, it's Cowboys Bucks. It's Cowboys going to Tampa. Give me Dallas.
Yeah. Give you Dallas.
Right? What if they then have to go to Minnesota? Right?
I'm probably the only guy still in the Minnesota bandwagon, but I think they're good. I think they're very good. Can you explain to me the hatred that the Minnesota Vikings are getting? They've won 10 games. 10 games.
The Vikings are a weird spot for me because I love the Vikings. I loved them at the start of the year. I had them to win the division. I think after week 1 or week 2, I'd put out another play saying to bet them to win the division again. They were still a plus money. The issue is just it doesn't look good. Like I understand you win games, right? You said it earlier. They beat Buffalo. They beat this team. You start looking into the weeds of things, and it's like, oh well, they got a bounce here. They went to the buzzer against the Lions. They almost didn't. They almost lost to the Bears. The Jefferson catch. A lot of things have worked in their favor, where it feels like things could start to go the other way. For me, I just think it's Kirk Cousins. I'm having a hard time.
I'm not accepting any Kirk Cousins slander on here, man. I'm not accepting it.
I'm not slandering him. I'm not slandering.
The guy's very good. I don't know why we all slander him. Well, I was about to say some wild shit. Shit.
You just went from the GOAT to really good. So I think
I wasn't going to say that. I wasn't going to.
You like that. You like that.
No question. No question.
And speaking of something that I enjoyed, this interview with Al's brother, I think we got to get to it. He's got a 5-leg
I really like what he's about to cook up. Talk to me. Bring him in.
5-leg teaser. He's going to take us through everything. And let's get to that chat right now. All right. So Luke, what have we gotten into here? We got our first guest joining us on the pod.
Yeah. I mean, this is one I'm very excited about. Now, this one started a little tumultuous for me. Okay. As you know, I'm a weekly guest, sometimes bi-weekly guest on Overdrive. And it's the guys are the best. But early in the year, they introduced me to some guy like, hey, Al's brother is talking shit about the Seahawks. Al's brother is just dumping on the Seahawks. So finally, I'm like, who the fuck is Al's brother? They give me the whole backstory. Okay. Guys, I don't know Al. I'm not even really sure of the whole backstory. But Al's brother and I basically get into a bit of an argument. And we decide to, go on the Lions-Seahawks games. And I'll admit, I got a little lucky. Lions had some injuries, but the Seahawks dumped on him. And I'm like, this guy's a Muppet. He doesn't know shit. Long story short, we then get put on the same team to pick spreads against the evil empire, which is Brian Hayes. So it's me, O-Dog, and Al's brother. And I love O-Dog, but he's not into the picks as much. He's more of the moral support team president guy.
Yeah.
This motherfucker, Al's brother, can cook when it comes to spreads, Luke. He's out here cooking, and he'll find a stat. You want a stat? He's got a stat. You need a stat? He'll get you a stat. This man can pick spreads. We've been dynamite. I joined the team. We were 2-6. I think right now we're like 20-14-2 since then. Okay, so and the games we've lost have been very, very tough ones. The David Njoku one-handed 4th and 10 was one that comes to mind. There's been a couple times where we've had to pick like double-digit spreads and we've missed by a point. Not close game. We're dialed. I want to bring him in right now. Al's brother, this guy's talked to us. The gambling segment of this pod tonight is going to be about the spreads because he's going to talk to us about some spreads this weekend and maybe a little bit the Thursday nighter. Where's Al's brother at, man? My teammate, my guy, the hottest spread picker in the country. And I'll say it again, the hottest spread picker in the country. Al's brother, welcome to the pod, baby. How we doing?
What an intro. What an intro. Kind words from Luke Willson, my brother. Thank you so much. Excited. Happy to be here.
I mean, bro, we're happy to be here, but I'm also happy to, first off, you're the first official guest on the pod. And second, I got a feeling that we're going to be pumping whatever you're about to say pretty heavy this week. So I'm excited to hear what you got for us, bro.
Well, so I think what I'm doing here is, so what I like to do, I like to do some teaser type stuff. Like you can look at the spreads and there's many of good bettable spreads out there. But I like to kind of put a few games together that I think are very teaser worthy and put together a little parlay because I know how much you love your parlays. So to
Love the
be able to
parlays.
do that in a teaser, I think it takes a little bit of risk away, but it also allows you to kind of build a little bit of value. So I've got a 5-team banger today for this weekend. That actually starts with the Thursday nighter, a little teaser parlay for you.
I'm just going to warn you, Alice, brother, much like our text thread, I'm going to be going back at this. Don't come on here with some bullshit now. You might be able to sucker Luke Bellis, but you're not going to sucker me. These better be good. What do you got for me, man?
Whoa, what's with the drive-by?
What does that even mean?
That's
What does that
fucked
even
up.
mean?
That was fucked up.
I got opinions
That was
too,
fucked up.
and I might start speaking up here if Mr. Wilson has a
I
pick
like
that I
this
don't like.
because
So
the
let's hear
Thursday nighter I have a lot of thoughts about now. What do you got for us, man?
So here's the reason why, I kind of like to tease a bunch of games together because you get a game like the Thursday nighter where it's a 6.5-point spread. And it just seems a little high for the Raiders club who are playing a little bit better, but you just don't know what you're going to get out of them. So you don't feel as comfortable betting at 6.5, but you could tease this thing down to 0.5 point, and it's basically a money line pick 'em at that point. And that's where I like starting this game off with the teaser. You bet that thing down to 0.5 point. No Aaron Donald in this game. The Rams really haven't been a great football team this year, and then they lost Matthew Stafford. We don't even know who's going to be their quarterback tomorrow, for Pete's sake. It could be Baker Mayfield, who literally has been on the team for 2 days, like 48 hours with this playbook, and he's expected to go in and win a game on a short week. Like, I just don't see it happening, fellas. So
I love that. Don't see it. So you're saying Raiders minus 0.5.
Yeah, Raiders minus 0.5. So they're essentially just going to win this game. Like outright, they'll win the game. But will they win it by, do I feel comfortable enough to bet the 6.5? Yeah, maybe. But you just take a little bit of risk off of it by teasing it down the 6 points to just 0.5 point. Basically, just got to win the ball game.
Okay. You know what? I was saying I was going to talk shit because I thought you were about to go the other way with this. Al's brother comes in hot. Luke Bellis, I don't know what to tell you, but I like the Rams to cover the 6.5. So I'm down with doing the money line Raiders. I think he's right on it. I think he's right on it.
I'm having some camera issues at the moment, so don't mind me. But
just a blurry man over here.
It's this camera. It's I'm taking it back to Walmart tomorrow. I look at this. Look at this. Also, Al's brother, since you're joining us on the show, I will have to recommend this beautiful book on biology.
Okay.
It's the finest read on this bookshelf, and it is my favorite reoccurring bit of this show, and it's only the 3rd episode.
I don't see the Bill Parcells. It's a football life up there. What's going on? What kind of football podcast is this?
We're gonna get that added right to that empty spot. But to the people that are just listening on Spotify, I feel like we'll have to move this along a little bit. So we're gonna start it with the Thursday nighter in the teaser. Let's hear about some of the games on Sunday that you got circled.
All right, so a couple of games that I like in the 1 o'clock slate. I'm looking at the Baltimore pick game, divisional rival. It's currently sitting at 2.5 in favor of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, this is a weird game. Obviously, there's no Lamar Jackson in this one, but I want to tease this the other way with the Baltimore Ravens getting 8.5 points. You tease it through the 3 line, through the 7 line, and when you're teasing, you try and tease it through as many of those magic numbers as possible, so you can knock off 2 off that list and get this from a 2.5 point underdog to 8.5 point dogs. And it's a divisional game, man. Like, these games, going back to 2019, is the last time you have to find a matchup between these two where the game has been ended by more than 4 points. You look at Pittsburgh, they're only averaging 17 points of offense this year, giving up 23 points defensively. So unless the Ravens are held to single digits, which I think Tyler Huntley's a capable backup. Is he Lamar Jackson? No, but he's a capable backup who has been able to come in spot duty and play some decent quarterback. I think he can keep it to within 8.5 points. So that's why I got this one here as my other teaser in part of the afternoon slate.
I mean, I'm in. I'm not. Luke Bell's talked to me, but I got the Ravens money line, so I'll take 8.5 on that easy. This
Yeah,
Ravens defense is the real deal, baby. I don't care about this offense. Their defense is the real deal.
Dude, like this defense has only given up 2.5 yards per carry on the ground the last little bit. Like they're just not giving up anything. So Najee's not going to be anything. Like he's going to be taken out of the ball game. And then you got Kenny Pickett. Can Kenny Pickett score 9 more points than Tyler Huntley and the Ravens? I don't think so, personally. So to me, this one's almost a no-brainer to add in that little teaser parlay.
Love it. What's next, baby? Keep cooking.
All right, we'll keep cooking. We're going to look at another division rivalry. Same division, actually. Another one, Browns and Bengals. Those two colliding in an afternoon affair in the jungle in Cincinnati. And for this one, I'm taking the Bengals and teasing this one down to 0.5 point. So it's at 6.5, and you tease it down 6 to 0.5 point. You know, the Bengals, they've come in, they've won 4 games in a row. They're gunning for that division with Lamar Jackson now out on the mend. You know, they want to keep piling up wins. By the way, plus 125 currently at FanDuel for them to go out and win the division. I think that is a worthwhile bet considering what's going on in the AFC North. But in those 4 games that they have won right now, the Bengals are averaging 31.5 points. Joe Burrow's averaging 280 yards with a couple of touchdowns per game. And the big thing that's changed is that this offensive line is finally getting into a groove. I went and I took a look at what the sack numbers were looking like over the course of the season for this team, and if that is correlated with this uptick in play from the Cincinnati Bengals. And it absolutely has. Like, you take a look at the first 4 games, Burrow was sacked 16 times. The next 4 games, it got a little bit better, 13 sacks. But the last 4 games, gentlemen, Joe Burrow has only been on the ground 5 times in the last 4 games, and that's why this team is cooking right now. That offensive line is getting right at the right time, which means they're opening up the pass game. They're starting to run the ball a little bit. Joe Mixon's been hurt, but Samaje Perine's been out there doing his thing, and it's because of strong play in the run game, strong offensive line as of late. So this team cooking up, heating up. Deshaun Watson, I mean, he didn't show me anything last week to suggest that he could keep up with this Bengals offense. So to me, teasing this down to a 0.5 point once again, I think is a no-brainer. The Bengals are going to win this football game, gentlemen.
Yeah, the Bengals certainly are a wagon at the moment. It's hard to dispute that.
Dude, remember at the beginning of the year, like the biggest issue, everyone's like, oh my God, get this guy some protection. The guy's finding himself on the ground, rolling around the entire game. In the last 4 games, they've only given up more than 1 sack once. So 1 sack, they gave up 2 a couple games ago, then only gave up 1 sack to the Kansas City Chiefs. That offensive line is humming right now, keeping Joey Burrow upright, and he's slinging the rock. Jamar Chase is back, another week of health for him. Guys, I think that this is going to be a strong Bengals squad going forward. They even might be a little sprinkle on winning that AFC potentially.
Love it. I love it. I'm in. Well, keep ripping. You're on fire right now. You're on fire.
All right.
Couldn't agree
with
more.
I got two more for you actually here. So we've got the Thursday nighter, which I've teased already. I ended up grabbing the Raiders teased down to 0.5 point. I teased Baltimore up to plus 8.5, and we just teased the Bengals down from 6.5 to 0.5 point spread. And this one, we got the Vikings and the Detroit Lions. I like looking at this going into this game. You would make the assumption the Vikings, who are 10-2, must be favored in this game. I know Detroit's playing some good ball, but just based on the optics of how the season has gone, they got to be favored in this game. They're not. They're actually 2.5 point dogs going into Detroit, which I don't think is necessarily a problem. Like, I think Detroit's playing some good ball. They might be able to win this game. But if you tease that 2.5 through the 3 line, through the 7 line, up to 8.5 points, I think the Vikings have to at least cover that. They might not win this game. Detroit very well could win this football game the way that they're playing lately. And that offense is humming. And I mean, the Vikings, that pass defense is just atrocious recently. But I think this will be a very high scoring game, but to keep it within 8.5 points, very doable for this Vikings offense that can throw the rock. They can run the ball. So I think teasing it from 2.5 up to 8.5 makes a lot of sense there.
I mean, I got the Vikings money line, so you're not hearing anything from me.
Yeah. And
there you go.
You know, the Vikings have scored at least 20 points in every win this year. They've been held to only 10 in the 2 combined losses. So there's like, I guess, a little fear there that they maybe lay an egg. But like you said, you expect them to score against the Lions and keep that game at least within 1 possession, even if they lose.
I'll say this too. Like, I mean, Luke, you would know this more than both Belly and I. I mean, when you're a superstar in the league and you're playing in the league and you get shut down in a game, and Justin Jefferson, last time they played early in the year, he got shut down by Detroit. Just 3 catches for 14 yards last time these two teams played each other. That's not going to happen this time. Justin Jefferson, I think, is going to ball out and say, hey, you got me once, you're not going to get me again. So I expect for him to have a big day.
Might have 200 yards. Might have 200 yards this game.
200? You got to go out for 200? I mean, for any other guy.
The next question is, how on God's green earth are the 5-7 Lions favored over the 10-2 Vikings? And I don't want to hear this nonsense. The Vikings beat the Bills. They beat the Bills. Yes, they got smoked by the Cowboys, sure. They also beat the Patriots, okay? And they beat the Jets, and the Patriots and the Jets are both considered playoff or playoff-type teams. Patriots are trash, but they're a good coach. The Jets have a legitimate shot to make the playoffs. Belly, don't give me that look. Don't give me that look. They're not a bad football team. Like, they've won 10 games this year. Yes, they haven't been able to put their throat on some teams. Sorry, put their foot on some teams' throats. But my God, that was bad. The Lions are 5-7. Who the fuck have they beat? Who have the Lions beat in their 5 games that you're like, damn, that's a good-ass win right there?
A shitty Green Bay Packers.
Thank you. Boys, talk to me about this last one right now. Talk to me about this last one because this might be the biggest I've ever placed on FanDuel.
So sticking with the theme of divisional games, we got the Eagles and Giants colliding this Sunday afternoon. And I mean, I don't have the Giants beating the Eagles in this game. I got Philly going in and beating the tar off of the Giants. But look, it's at 6.5. So again, we just tease this down to 0.5 point, and it's essentially a money line pick'em game at that point. You got the Eagles, number 3 offense in the NFL, the number 2 defense in the NFL. You got Jordan Davis back into the fold to stop that Giants rush game. And then it comes down to, well, can Danny Dimes beat this pretty great secondary? I just don't see it happening. So personally, I think the Eagles are going to win this game easily. So being able to tease that one down to 0.5 point, basically a pick 'em, just makes a lot of sense. So the fact that I'm able to get 5 games that I love all lopped up into one little teaser parlay, paying plus 330 on that one, 3-1 odds. You could triple your money if that pays out. And every single one of these looks like a banger to me. I mean, obviously, I'm making the wager, but like I would be shocked if these don't pay out, man. Shocked.
I'll agree with you on that.
There it is. There's the first annual Al's Brother teaser parlay of the week.
Hell yeah. Vegas, 0.5 point. Steelers, plus 8.5. It's correct?
No, Ravens plus 8.5.
Ravens, I've got it wrong on here. I don't know. I knew you said that. Sorry. Vegas, minus 0.5 point. Ravens, plus 8.5. Bengals, minus 0.5 point. Vikings, plus, if the Vikings don't cover that, I know nothing about football. I know nothing about football.
Save that clip.
Yeah, for real. Save that. Philadelphia, minus 0.5 point. I mean, boys, we're cooking, man. I don't know if I've ever, it's almost, I don't want to say this word.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
I'm not saying it. I took it back. I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything.
Let's not jinx it, but we can say this. The lines were very juicy and very, very sexy when it came to teasing this stuff. Like being able to teaser the Raiders, the Bengals, and the Eagles to half a point in all of those games, and then take the Ravens and the Vikings as underdogs and put those guys through the 3, through the 7 number to 8.5. They're just very teasable games that we were picking here, boys. So I like it. I'm hoping we go 5 for 5 and we can, take one quick step to what's the goal here? To bankrupt FanDuel. I mean, enough people take this 3-1, triple their money. FanDuel might be paying out quite a bit of cash come Sunday night.
Boys, let's get it.
That's always the goal. It's always the goal to just rob FanDuel. Al's brother, I'm going to thank you for joining us. I think we're going to get the podcast rolling on from here. And like I said, the first ever the Al's brother teaser parlay of the week. We're gonna have to get you back on to celebrate cash in this one and look to go 2-0 next week.
Absolutely, buddy.
Why
1
not?
week at a time. 1 week at a time. I was your first guest on the podcast. That's so it's an honor. It's an honor, boys.
Yeah, I'm
We
kind
had
of amped
to.
right now too.
We had to do it,
Yeah,
man.
I really like this. This can place in about 2 minutes.
What is your favorite Thursday nighter? You guys got to that yet? Your favorite Thursday night prop so far?
Prop? I don't know if it's up yet, but it's going to be, for me, it's going to be, let me see if I can get this correct. Tutu Atwell over 23.5 receiving yards.
Tutu Atwell.
That's what mine's going to be.
Dude, I mean, Tutu's a decent little player. I still can't believe they took him so high in the draft. But, I mean, he's a little gadget dude. And without Cooper Kupp, I guess he kind of can fill in some of those roles there. You know who I like actually a lot? I like this Foster Moreau cat to get a touchdown. The Rams have been susceptible to giving up a lot to tight ends the last couple of weeks here. 7.5 catches for 80 yards to tight ends their last 3 games, averaging that number. And they've given up a touchdown to a tight end in 3 straight games. So Foster Moreau, that's a guy I'm kind of looking at.
That's also on the lay. Foster Moreau, I believe his number was 32.5. They took him off the app. So that's going to be hammered. Tutu's going to be hammered in the third leg. The third leg will be up for grabs.
Love it. I'll be hammering that one, boys.
Love it, baby. Let's get it.
Love to see
Just
it.
like that, Al's brother slapping us, giving us knowledge, giving us stats, and giving us absolute locks. I'm amped. This will be one of the many this weekend where we get to drag our nuts on FanDuel Canada. I haven't listened to the new Drake album yet. I think Jimmy Cooks is a song that everyone talks about. I'll get to it. I'm being serious. What's so funny about that, man? What's so funny?
Jimmy Cooks. Jimmy Cooks, I think, is from 2 albums ago.
Really?
I
thought that was his last album.
Well, I guess him and 21 Savage put an album together. So,
Jimmy
are you
Cooks
a Drake
is
guy?
on that one? Yeah. Who is it, man? This is my thing. You want to hear my thing about the Drake stuff, bro?
Yeah.
I'm an Apple Music guy. Make fun of me. That's fair. But I've like 99% of the world, everybody that I know is a Spotify person now. Okay.
Yep.
All of the people in the group chats that always drag Drake or like, oh, I'm sick of Drake. Oh, this. They put their little year in review. Right?
And it's all Drake. And it's all Drake. The Spotify
top 10 is Drake. I'm like, bro, you've been dragging this guy. Oh, I don't like Drake. Oh, Drake's not good. I can't stand Drake. Bro, stats don't lie. Okay, I love our producer Alex Wright. We'll talk about that in a sec. Stats don't lie. You cannot sit here and say you don't like Drake and then post your fucking top 10 artist played of 2022 and Drake sitting at number 5. You can't do it. You can't do it.
I'm not one. The Spotify Rap Day is never a fun day for me because I listen to a lot of Drake, and I maybe listen to some artists that you don't want to put out on display. So when Spotify Rap comes along and it's just like, I don't know, I might sit that day out. But you're right. There's a lot of Drake slander throughout the year, and then those Spotify year in review things come out and it's just Drake.
On everybody's.
But can I so you're not much of a music guy?
Oh no, I'm a diehard music guy, but I'm not an album drop guy.
That's too bad.
Dude, to me though, music is like it's very situational depending on the energy. So it's like, okay, I'm driving on the Pacific Coast Highway. So naturally, windows down, Red Hot Chili Peppers, bump it.
Yep.
I mean, if there's a place to play the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Los Angeles on the PCH is it. Now it's like, okay, I'm going into a workout. You know, what kind of workout is it? Is it a plyometric workout? Is it we're getting under the bar today and really like cracking our head against some iron? You know, Maybe Metallica live in Mexico City comes on. Maybe some AC/DC live. Who knows? Okay, maybe it's a Let's Be Up Day. Maybe we're on Swedish House Mafia then. Let's get it ripping. Let's get fluid out here today, Luke. To me, the music's gotta match the energy of the situation.
So when are you? I don't want to get into too much here, but when are you maybe throwing on some R&B? Maybe slow it down a little bit. If you're not.
You've known me for what, 6 months now, Luke?
Has it already
either
been
sleeping
6 months?
or I'm not slowing down, bro. I'm either asleep or I'm ripping, bro. There's no in between for me. I wish I could. Is it modulate? I wish I could modulate that, but I can't. Okay. In the moment I start to slip and it's the middle of the day, let's crank some caffeine. Country music. Producer Alec wants to know country music. I have a very interesting relationship with country music. I'm very big into lyrics. So some people are into like the song. I'm a very big lyrical guy. So there are some country bops that I'm like, this is a nice little tune. But the majority of country music, to me, is so fucking soft that I can't stand it. In fact, unless I'm back in my college days and we're day drinking at a quote unquote darty, I don't know where country music applies. Maybe if you're driving out in the county, if I'm in Essex County, shout out Windsor, Essex County, I could see myself putting on a song. But it's like, name a popular country song. And it's about some fucking dude going back to like high school and being on a dirt road or playing his girlfriend's favorite song. And I'm like, bro, I am trying to get better at life right now. Not be a sentimental bitch. Okay? I know this is a rant, but for fuck's sake, can somebody come up with a country song that says, let's fuck some shit up and be badass? Can we do that?
I got a country album for you to listen to. I don't remember the name or the artist, but it is the most offside, like over the line shit that you'll ever hear. I will send it to you. You will enjoy it. If you're ever in the
just died, I'm sad. I cracked open a beer. Congrats, boss. Congrats. Didn't need to put that in a song, bud.
Word for word, those are almost direct lyrics from a Luke Bryan song.
No question.
Hey, if you're ever in the mood for some R&B, my girl SZA's got an album coming out Friday. SOS, her first album in 5 years. Luke, I can't begin to tell you how excited I am for this album.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I have no idea what that is, but I'll check it out. What would you
call
The Weeknd?
You're gonna hate it.
What is he?
R&B,
his album,
pop.
Beauty Behind the Madness, I think it's called. Might be my favorite album of all time. He says some wild shit in those lyrics. Wild shit, my guy. Oh, he's cooking on that shit.
Oh yeah, no, that's a great album. That's a great album, and he's awesome. So you're a lyrics guy. That's interesting. Okay, we'll have to get
Big
into that when we have more time. I know you got a heart out tonight, so we're gonna unfortunately have to cut this a little bit short. But we'll have to go through some lyrics because I like lyrics too. We can do some lyrical breakdowns maybe.
What do you think what is your favorite lyrical song?
Oh.
Oh, I stumped him with this one.
Yeah, you are. There's a couple of like storytelling type songs that I like For Your Eyes Only immediately comes to mind with J. Cole. It's like a 7-minute song just about
I'll check that out.
Like, yeah, just talking about life and like the experience of a dude's life and raising kids and growing up and all that stuff. I don't know if I just described that song well at all, but it's a really good storytelling song. What about you?
Diplomatic Immunity by Drake.
Okay.
At one point he says, I'd be in better company with my own reflection. Okay. I mean, this guy shits on everybody in this fucking song.
Drake is ridiculous. Drake can say anything and get away with it. He had a lyric. He had a lyric on Certified Lover Boy, and it was I wish you talked to me the way you talked to that Chanel bag, like something like that. And I was just, I wish you loved me the way you love that Chanel bag. It was like, if anyone else said this, they'd get crucified. And look at this, it's like we're at the Grammys. It's like we're at an award show getting played out. Producer Alec, you You can play the music. Don't worry, producer Alec. And how about one more shout out to producer Alec? All the work, all the hard work going on, the fine work of producer Alex. So shout out to him for all the work. Mr. Wilson, it's our 3rd episode in the books.
In the books, baby. We're starting to heat up right now. You know, we're yeah. I feel like we've done some good things, doing some bad things, but we got to establish the fundamentals. Right now, we're a talented football team without the fundamentals, man. Once we get the fundamentals in here, we'll just be able to put our dick on the table. You know what I'm saying? Figuratively speaking, not literally. Safe space. That might have to be edited out.